Boom.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Bunny Warcrime,
I am Captain Warcrime.
and we are the Warcrimes. And we're joined tonight by associates Ash and Billy.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh man, I gotta clap? Alright. Alright. I like it.
I feel loved.
Guys,
You are loved.
you don't have to stand up.
Why the fuck you lying?
I think that's copyrighted.
We're
All right.
wasting
I didn't
you
play
guys.
enough
You're
to
having
get
too
us
much fun.
Yeah. So basically, if you guys have ever watched this before, if anyone here has watched this before, you know we try to keep things like really fun and entertaining on our channel, and we usually just kind of like go through lists of random questions, or we talk about, you know, whatever. Like the stream edit that just came out today, we were just talking about like 90s nostalgia and stuff like that. But what we kind of thought was, as what we like to think of as upcoming YouTubers in the tech space, we did want to kind of touch on the situation that's going on right now with Linus Tech Tips or Linus Media Group. And while we'll still keep things lighthearted and probably make some jokes, at least we won't make any jokes about sponsors.
Ah, that was so bad.
So
That's what the soundbite was for?
yes.
Where was the joke?
We'll get to that. Don't worry. So if you have no idea what we're talking about, or if you only know a little bit about what's going on, we will give a summary of kind of what's been happening in the tech YouTube space. And, you know, we'll kind of go over that, and then we'll get into like our thoughts and feelings about it and everything. And to start off with, I think it's very important when it comes to any kind of anything you watch that's about that where people talk about anyone else, it's always really important to remember that you should never go and send hate or harassment or anything like that to any creators, no matter, you know, how they were involved in this or anything else. So I just want to put that out there, that this is not meant to be taken as anything but our opinions. Anything that we say tonight is either based on our thoughts and opinions or some kind of research that we've done, but not to be taken as direct fact. You should do your own research. And then also just be careful about who you know, put your trust in as far as content creators and influencers and everything, because I feel like every time these types of things happen and, you know, information comes out that somebody did something, there's all these people that feel really hurt because they had put their trust in them. But I think we should just be careful about who we're allowing into our lives that are not, you know, real people to us, that are just like YouTubers or content creators or whatever. So I just wanted to say that before we started. So as far as like what we know, or like how we know the channel's involved, Alex, do you want to just kind of give a little bit of background about how familiar you are with the situation going on and the YouTubers involved and everything like that?
Sure. All right. So this all started now what seems like forever ago, because there's so much stuff coming out and everybody wants to put their 2 cents in it. But just actually, what, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, something like that, 2 or 3 days ago, it started when Steve from Gamers Nexus, who is a completely Steve from Gamers Nexus, who is a completely unbiased reporter on everything that he does, called somebody out in the YouTube space who was making massive mistakes in some of their equipment reviews. So as far as Steve's channel goes, I've seen just about every single one of his videos. Same thing with Linus. So I know their content pretty well. Don't know either one of them. I've only seen them through a screen. So yeah,
Okay, Billy, do you want to let us know how familiar you are with the channels and with the situation that we're going to be talking about tonight?
Sure. As far as Linus Tech Tips, I used to watch that channel all the time, many years ago. Kind of stopped keeping track of it over the years, and more recently, of course, as Alex has said, a lot of the stuff that's coming out, there are gross. I want to say gross negligence. Even as someone who isn't as well versed when it comes to computer equipment, there's a lot of things that are just glaring red flags, and that is basically my experience with what's going on currently.
Yeah, so you didn't see like the original video when it first came out. You kind of found out about this, I think, what it was like a night or two ago when we were all kind of talking about it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then so for me, I don't watch any of the big tech YouTubers all of the time. It's just not what I choose to like spend time watching on YouTube. However, I do watch them a lot with Alex. So I'm familiar with all of the channels involved, and I also watched the original video that Alex was talking about where Gamers Nexus came out with kind of a report on Linus Tech Tips. So I did see that from the beginning, and I've been following it ever since. And the more that I see, the more I just felt like we wanted to kind of take our time to share our opinions, because like I said, we do want to, one day be hopefully one of the big creators in the tech space. So I think it's important to share our thoughts and feelings, so that obviously that we're aware of what issues people are seeing, and we don't want to ever do that. And then Ash, would you like to give us your background on the channels and the situation at hand?
Why are you laughing? Are you assuming that I know absolutely nothing about this topic?
I don't have to assume what I already know.
You know
if
nothing,
you're
Jon
assuming
Snow.
that I know absolutely nothing about this topic, you would be absolutely correct. I literally found out about this, yesterday? Because today's Friday, right? Yeah. Yesterday. Yeah. Sitting in a waiting room of a doctor's office from Billy. So I literally have like the meat and potatoes of what you guys kind of already talked about, but I have never seen one of those videos, nor do I kind of know the scope of everything that's going on. So I am your unbiased opinion that knows nothing.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we figured it would be a good conversation to have with Ash and Billy, because while they might not be as familiar with the whole situation as Alex and I are, we think it's always good to include opinions from, people who have less knowledge of what's going on, so maybe their minds won't be as swayed based on prior thoughts or something like that. So I don't know if you guys want to go ahead and jump in a game, and I will kind of start going through the summary. I have a lot of notes here, so if it sounds like I'm reading, it's probably because I'm reading my notes that I put together over the last couple of days.
Yeah. So right before you said that, I had start searching for game.
Okay.
So I just gotta say this is completely and utterly off topic. But I bought this new protein powder, and it absolutely tastes exactly like the mint Girl Scout cookie.
Ooh.
Except I can't find the fucking scoop.
Okay.
Cardinal sin, chocolate or die.
What?
Nah.
When it comes to workout, not pre-workout, but like proteins, it's chocolate or die.
Well, then I guess I'm dying because it's
Yeah, me too.
Redcon 1
Are you
Blueberry
the-
Cobbler.
Oh, that's a good one though. That is a good one. I've had that one. I bring my own cardinal rule. I just like to call other people out and not be held accountable. Okay.
I did try the thing where it's supposed to like emulate a frozen lemonade from Chick-fil-A, and you get the light lemonade and some vanilla protein powder and ice, and you mix it in a blender. So it's like a frozen lemonade. It was pretty good.
Nice. Sorry, I just got it today and I just opened it, so sorry for the boring conversation.
No, that's okay. We already talked about this beforehand, and we said between everybody's like ADHD and whatever else, we know we're gonna get off topic, and that's absolutely fine. But while Alex and Billy play Call of Duty, I'm gonna just go over kind of the basic summary of what happened and kind of the timeline in which it happened. And that way we can kind of have the conversation afterwards. So there's two main YouTube channels that I would say are involved in this, and that is Linus Tech Tips, which became Linus Media Group. I don't know when that happened exactly. Do you know, Alex?
It was a couple years after he left NCIX, and his own channel, LTT, started taking off. So he ended up forming a new channel, or a new conglomerate, sorry.
So under Linus Media Group is the LTT channel, which is Linus Tech Tips, and then they have a couple other channels as well. Most of them are in the tech sphere. I think I just saw the other day that Linus has like a cat tips YouTube, which is hilarious, but
he just started that one for his cat as a joke.
Yeah. So they're a very large platform on YouTube. They're probably one of the biggest as far as like subscriber count goes, as far as tech YouTubers. And they're known for getting out videos very, very quickly and consistently. So in a recent video where they talked about what it's like working at Linus Media Group, a lot of people said we're expected to get videos out very, very quickly, and somebody I think totaled it up to 25 videos a week come out between all of the channels and a podcast that they do.
That is correct.
So also something I just wanted to mention is that for most of the time, since this has been Linus Media Group, I'm assuming, Linus himself was the CEO of the company. Like CEO and owner of the company. In June, he actually, what he called stepped down or demoted to Chief Vision Officer, which means that he's way less involved with managing people and way more involved with like what the channels are doing, what the company is doing, and where they want to go with it. And the CEO that took over used to work for Dell, I believe. Okay. So that's one of the main YouTube channels involved. The other one is Gamers Nexus, which is the one that Alex brought up. This is a guy named Steve, and he has a small team of people that work for him. He is also in the tech space, and he's slightly smaller, I would say, as a platform than Linus is. And he is known for very, very data heavy videos about tech. So part of the reason that I don't watch a ton of Gamers Nexus is because like I can't, like I work with data. I am a data analyst. That's my 9-to-5 job. So like I don't want to hear about data after I'm done working for the day.
You don't want to hear about the total TD or the TDP of your new processor or the newest graphics card and how that affects your thermal dynamics in the case and airflow and all that stuff?
No, I just want it to be pretty and I want it to work.
At all. Stack. I'm with Bunny on this one.
But Steve is known for being very knowledgeable, and he does very detailed research for videos. He is also one of the people who will do kind of like what do we call it, like journalistic like I don't want to say exposés, but like he will call out big companies, small companies, anyone who is harming consumers of tech. He will do the research and then call them out, which is exactly what started this like kind of entire situation. Was I don't know what day, I didn't put dates, I didn't think that was that important, but we'll say it was like about 4 days ago or something, maybe 5 days ago. Gamers Nexus, Steve, released a video where he outlined multiple errors that have been made by Linus Tech Tips across multiple videos. So I think it was called something like The Problem with Linus Tech Tips. And I remember when Alex saw it, he looked over at me and he goes, "Is this like clickbait or something?" Which I think in some of the videos I've watched about this, that was also kind of the feeling that some other people got, was like what is this? Like, it just wasn't expected when this was released. So the issues that he highlighted in this video had to do with errors made by Linus Tech Tips in their videos, and also possible bias due to things like sponsorship or other like monetary things. So in the video, which I watched again this morning just to make sure I fully knew what I was talking about, Steve said that his team and him had thought about this and kind of started pulling things together for months before this was ever released. So this was not a spur of the moment decision. He didn't wake up that day and decide to call out Linus, nothing like that. He did a lot of research. He went through tons of videos, and he was able to use the videos that Linus put out himself to figure out that information and data was wrong throughout their videos. He also said that when he decided to put this up, he already put it up without any kind of monetization or sponsors, because he didn't want this to be a money-making thing for himself. It was just that he felt he needed to put this out for, again, the community and the consumers to understand what the deal was with Linus Tech Tips. The four kind of main things that he pointed out in the video was the fact that Linus Media Group pushes out daily videos, which, like I said, is 25 per week across all the channels, which results in sloppy research and testing, critical mistakes, and videos getting posted without making much needed corrections prior to posting. And when Linus Tech Tips would make corrections, it was either done with and Linus is so big on YouTube, he actually gets this option, which most people don't. He can make kind of like real-time corrections in a video, but you can't add text, so he can't make anything super clear and obvious that there was a mistake. He can either do it as like a comment, you know, or other ways where it's like half-ass corrected, basically. And then there were a lot of errors in graphs. So like they had a test where they showed a 4090 did 300% better than like a 4060 or something. Like, I don't remember what the one below it was. Yeah, but like 300% when it should have been like 30% better. And then the ethics violations. So Linus Tech Tips, being a pretty big person in the space, has a lot of corporate connections, and this could potentially be biasing them. So Linus has money invested in a company called Framework Laptops, and when he does laptop testing videos, he includes Framework laptops in those tests. So there could be some bias in there. Another one that was mentioned was Noctua. Noctua makes fans that I personally think are really ugly.
Agreed.
They don't light up pretty colors?
Well, for one, they don't light up at all, but they're like brown and cream colored. I'm not a fan. But he made
that remind me of like my great grandmother's like decor in her house.
It's like they tried to make them like a wood pattern, and just did a terrible job. But people love them.
To each their own, you know. And then again, even with possibly having a deal with Noctua, he still includes them in testing and pushes Noctua products and things like that. So there's possible bias there. And then the biggest concern I think that most people kind of jumped on was an issue that happened with a company called Billet, who had made a monoblock. And my voice needs a rest. So Alex, do you want to give a rundown of what happened with the monoblock?
Yeah, so Billet Labs is a very small tech startup out of England, if I remember correctly. It's literally like 2 or 3 people. They designed this monoblock for a GPU to add liquid cooling to it that's supposed to be super efficient and everything. Billet Labs reached out to Linus and was like, hey, can we send you this prototype so that you could test it and give your honest review about it? And he, they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, man. So they mailed this monoblock over to Linus and his team with a 3090 Ti, which is what that monoblock was designed for. It wasn't designed for any other card. It was designed to work specifically with a 3090 Ti, so they sent one to him as well. Well, Linus did the review on YouTube, made a whole video about it and everything, said that they didn't have a 3090 Ti to test it with, so they used a 4090. Now, the dimension difference between those two is quite drastic. The 4090 is much larger and draws more power and uses a lot more of the RAM and everything versus a 3090, so it didn't work. It worked, but not nearly as good as it should have. So Linus basically shit all over the product. It was like, this is crap, it doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. And then later on in the WAN show, which is his podcast, he said that he didn't feel like it was necessary to spend $100, $200, $300, $400, all the way up to $500 of an employee's time to retest this properly. So he basically shit on this tech startup. They had lost whatever support, or started losing some support just off of his video. And then the real icing on the cake is over at LTX, which is his expo that he puts on every year. He auctioned off the monoblock after there have been numerous email communications between Billet and LTT to send the monoblock back. So he auctioned it off, and I don't know how true this is, but I've been reading some stuff and hearing some stuff that the person who bought that monoblock was actually a competitor of Billet Labs. So now you have a competitor company who has their only fucking working prototype that can reverse engineer it and try to figure everything out.
So from what I heard, it was not a competitor. However, the concern that Billet had was if it went to a competitor, not only would it be a loss of a prototype, which had a monetary value that should have been blurred. We'll get to that later. So a kind of expensive prototype. If it had also gone to a competitor in the auction, then they would also be losing intellectual property on top of actual physical property. But Linus did say later on, this is obviously after this video was posted, but he did explain that it just went to like a regular Joe, like a private buyer, and that he could, if Billet wanted, try to get the block back from him. Billet declined that offer, saying that at this point it had already taken so long to try to get anything that they didn't want to waste any more time and would rather just be paid for it so that they could start working on their next one. And there was some more, obviously, back and forth between Billet and LTT. Another issue that happened was one of the emails that was sent from LTT. They forgot to add Billet into the two field on the email, so it just went internally and never, like, they didn't catch it until they had to go back and figure out how all this happened. So just like, rookie mistake is all I can really say. Is like, how do you forget to add somebody to an email? But
I mean, granted, I've done that a few times.
So what I don't understand about the whole I forgot to add him to the email thing is I don't know what email server they're using, but we use Outlook at work. And if you don't have anybody in the to line, it won't send that email, even if you have people in the CC line.
They had an internal person on there. What I don't understand is you would think this is an ongoing email communication, meaning they would have hit reply, not compose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would keep the email thread.
And if I hit compose to start a new email, the first thing I do is put the person it's supposed to go to into the to field before I even start typing. That's just me. So then after this video came out, obviously Linus got news pretty quickly that this had happened because they have a pretty large forum on their website, and a lot of fans were reaching out basically kind of enraged about everything that they were hearing from Steve's video. So Linus began responding to people on the forum, definitely in an emotional state, and before really kind of thinking anything through. And so, like, some of his responses were things like, we're using this, like everything else, to continue to drive ourselves to do better. He also said that auctioning off the billet block was an accident due to miscommunication, and that the company was working with Billet Labs to resolve the issue, but people were upset by that because Billet was saying, no, he only did it because of the video. Like, Linus tried to say, oh, we were already working with them to resolve this, but so that part's confusing, and I don't want to say exactly what it was because I don't know, I wasn't there. And also, there was a very long post, and that was basically the one where Linus just very emotionally, like, put his thoughts out there. He was upset that Steve didn't reach out to him first. He said, you know, any, like, good journalist would know that you should reach out to a person before you do some big story on them, which is not really true.
Maybe it
Steve,
is in Canada.
well,
Canada?
Yeah, so Linus is Canadian. LMG is all based out of Canada.
You gotta remember, I know absolutely nothing, so
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
why isn't that on your soundboard?
It really doesn't have a whole lot of value. Like, it's one of those that's like used every now and then.
Okay.
okay, so after the forum posts, obviously Steve saw those. He put out a regular, like, he does like a weekly kind of like recap of the text-based news or whatever. So in a regular, like, weekly video, the first section of it was that he saw Linus's responses, and he actually named the video Linus Tech Tips response is disappointing nonsense. So he basically showed all of the different responses that he could see in the forums and was just kind of, I would say, like, upset that he had put all of this time and effort, and he wasn't attacking Linus in any way. He just wanted to bring light to this, and so he was just disappointed in the responses. He said they were not well thought out, they were defensive, they were wrong. Like, he didn't say these words, this is like a summary. Basically, wasn't well thought out, they were very defensive. Some of his responses were wrong. Like I said, they were not already working with Billet according to the sources that he had. And also, some of it was like almost gaslighting. Basically kind of trying to say that Linus was the victim in all this. So basically in that video, Steve said it doesn't matter at this point if Linus Tech Tips puts out any kind of response after this, because he already knows how Linus actually feels, and anything that comes out after this point would just basically be like PR, you know, like PR written very on the up and up, when he already knows how Linus really feels. So of course, I think it was a day or two later, Linus Media Group on the Linus Tech Tips channel released a video addressing everything, titled "What Do We Do Now?" That video, this is probably where I have the most like thoughts and feelings is about this video, but they said that they were going to take an entire week and they will not post on any of their channels, which is absolutely crazy for Linus Tech Tips to not have videos come out for that long. They're going to be reevaluating internally. They're going to be implementing better processes. They're going to be, you know, like doing all the things that they should do. I'm gonna try to hold off on like my thoughts until we actually discuss this, but the notes that I have was, it just felt very corporate to me. and I saw, like, I think it was on Twitter or whatever it's called now, X, I don't know. It was like comparing it to that South Park episode where they did the spoof of the BP commercial after the oil spill, and it's like, we're sorry, because like that's exactly what it felt like to me. And also, while Linus might not be CEO anymore, he is still basically the face, and he is the name of the company, and he doesn't appear in the video until almost last. So it starts with the CEO. The reason that I used the sound after my joke about not having sponsors is because in that apology video, some of the things that people were upset about right off the bat was that, one, that video was monetized, two, they joked in it twice about getting a sponsor on the video, and they also plugged their merch store in the video. So people were not super happy about those things with the LTT response video. And then something we probably won't really touch on in our opinions, and just so that people are aware of everything going on in the situation, I would say, like, to add on to the backlash from everything I've already said, there have been allegations made on Twitter by a former employee. She worked there, I think it was about 2 years ago, and she was explaining that working for LMG was a toxic work environment and it was detrimental to her mental health, and that there was possible, like, bullying and maybe some harassment and things like that. And then the CEO has responded to that, saying that he was shocked to hear about it, and this is a quote: "As part of this process, beyond an internal review, we will also be hiring an outside investigator to look into the allegations, and will commit to publish the findings and implementing any corrective actions that may arise because of this."
Yes. Breathe.
Yeah, that was a lot. Like,
It's a lot, and like this is a summary, like,
Yeah, like this is the tip of the iceberg. At this point in time, the iceberg is still the iceberg that Bunny has covered is still small enough that Titanic would have missed it.
Hot damn.
yeah.
Yeah, like no, this goes way deeper and further than, like, if we wanted to cover everything, we'd be on live for like 6 hours.
I'm down.
I'm not.
I would.
yeah.
I'd-
I gotta
I'd
wake up
fall
early
asleep.
tomorrow.
I'd fall asleep on stream again.
But yeah,
A
so
restream?
there are some other things that have obviously been discussed because of this, and I feel like a lot of it I don't even want to get into, because this kind of seems like one of those situations where you know, there was an initial like, I hate to call it a call out, but you know, that's basically what it was. There was a call out about bad business behavior and bad review ethics and things like that. Totally understandable. And I do think that Linus Media Group needs to make changes. But I also feel like some of the other stuff that's kind of being brought up, and they're kind of being like really attacked right now, is it's people kind of like, they heard what Steve had to say, and then it was like, grab your torch and pitchforks. Oh, I was gonna mess that up really bad.
Grab your torch forks and pitches.
Yeah. So like some of it, I just feel like it, and even some of the things that I saw that were getting a lot of attention were not even things that Linus did wrong. It was things that his toxic part of his community had done wrong to people.
And I think the toxic communities, it's gonna happen because people will give anybody and anything 100% blind loyalty without even thinking about it. Like, for example, like Asus, whenever they had the big issue with their motherboards frying 7950 X3Ds because there was a problem in the BIOS. There were people who were just blindly saying it's all Asus's fault. They need to fix this, they need to fix that, blah blah. I'll never buy Asus again, blah 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 blah. And then there were people who were like, oh, Asus is perfect, this is wrong. So it was the whoever installed the CPU, they messed something up. Like, it's blind loyalty, and it's stupid. You should never have blind loyalty or blind allegiance to anything except for the war crimes.
Exactly.
We will never let you down.
I was about to be like, I have blind loyalty to you guys.
Zero disappointment. Zero
Ever.
chance.
Nah, like, even though for real, like, no one should have blind loyalty even to us. Like, as much as I would love it, but nah, it's not right in any sense.
Unless I get a crown, then the blind loyalty is fine. So one of the things that I did want to get into, I think, is the video that LTT put out. So it really rubbed me the wrong way. And it so basically, here's how it happened. I told you guys that the night that Steve's video was released, Alex, points it out to me. I think, what were we doing? Were we?
That's when I was running the memory test on my computer, so I wasn't doing shit. You were working on the stream edit.
Yeah, so we're just kind of sitting in here hanging out, and he points at the thumbnail and he's like, is this clickbait? And I'm like, oh. So he starts watching it, and then I think about like 5 minutes into it, I start listening in, and I'm like, oh wow. But with the response from LTT, it came out first thing in the morning. And I get up before Alex, and so I was sitting there working, and I see it, and I'm like I really want to watch this. But I waited, and Alex, by the time he came out to the living room, I put it on, and he's like, I gotta go, I gotta get to work. So I was like, well, I'm still gonna watch it. So I watched it first while I was working, and then Alex watched it later, and then we were kind of texting about it throughout the day. But I was like, I really don't know how I feel about this. Like, of course they had to respond to it, but the way that they did it, it felt so corporate. It felt very cold. It felt, even some of the, like the one guy he straight up blamed other people in the company for some of the mistakes. And it's like, you guys should be banding together right now and seeing this like a, any issues that occurred happened because of your company. You are part of your company, so like, we don't need to see the blame between departments. You guys do that on your own time. Like, just tell us how you're gonna do better. And honestly, I would have really liked to see Linus be the first one to speak.
No, I completely agree. Instead, the video started out with their new CEO, Taryn, who inherited this mess in essence. I mean, I know he's been CEO for like a month now, but he has had, like, in everything that Steve said in his video, Taryn has had no hand in. It all came in and was done before Taryn ever even thought about this job. Linus should have been the first person. I can understand why Taryn was the first person, being that he is ultimately responsible, even though he wasn't in the seat when this all happened. He's ultimately responsible as CEO. So if you want to go by that, then Linus should have been second. But instead, Linus's wife, Yvonne, was second. And she called Linus out. Like, she was like, yeah, essentially, she was like, yeah, he gets ahead of himself. He's always rushing shit. I've told him multiple times he needs to slow down, shit along those lines. So if that wasn't scripted and that's truly how she felt, then good on her, because it needs to happen. And I fully expect you to do the same thing to me. If anything like this were to happen, we're pushing and pushing and pushing, and we need to slow down, but I'm just pushing and pushing and pushing.
I'm gonna make Ash do any of our apology videos we ever have to do.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, I'll
I'm good
break
with
out. I'll break out the public affairs voice.
That's what I need. Like, but I don't know, something about it really rubbed me the wrong way. But also, like, as much as that video bothered me and I understood why they do it, I also felt like there is some like intense response from the community. The amount of posts that I saw on social media of I just canceled my, float plane subscription, or I just unsubscribed from his YouTube channel, and it's like, okay, I understand that you're, upset, but why don't we give people a chance? Like, and that's part of my whole issue with like just the culture that we formed at this point is everyone's allowed to call everyone out, but no one's allowed to try to correct their actions or get better.
Cancel culture.
Yeah, and it's stupid because like if you remove the cheesy fucking jokes and you take your own personal feelings out of that video, the response video from LMG, then they're on the right path to fix everything that was called out in Steve's video. And I'm about it. I hope that they stick to their word and actually do everything that they're talking about, because if they do, then it could turn out very, very good for LMG. But if it's just one of those where it's literally just a PR grab, then that's unfortunate. But I mean, he's got over 15 million subscribers. He lost 100,000 in the first 3 days. Realistically, that loss of 100,000 is not going to affect him a whole lot with having over 15 million subscribers.
So as of this point, he lost 100K on the 15th. So I think that's the day that Steve's video came out. And then he lost 100K today. So he is currently sitting at 15.4 million subscribers. His daily average right now is minus 3.3 thousand.
So I mean, he's definitely taking the hit, and it's stupid. I might lose subscribers. We might lose subscribers, but people are stupid. Why are you going to unfollow somebody who's going to completely just ditch them and not even give them a chance to fix the errors that they were called out on? I mean, that's almost like being loyal to a sports team and then they lose one game and then you're like, nope, fuck the Dallas Cowboys. They lost. Never going to be a fan again.
I was going to say, like, people still love the Cowboys.
Yeah, they don't. If that was the case, they wouldn't have any fans, but, whatever. That's why they turned their football stadium into a tornado shelter, because nothing ever touches down there.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So, I think I actually messaged you about it. Like, their response to it was so odd. It kind of felt like a kid, like, like a young kid, like, who got called out. It was just so weird. It was so strange. It's like, just own up to it.
Oh, and it was, and like part of the video they did own up to their mistakes, which they absolutely should have, but it was still a very scripted PR response because that's what it needed to be. Because prior to that video, Linus flew off the handle and reacted emotionally and not like a business owner should. So they needed to have that scripted PR response to do damage control. And anything at this point in time, no matter which way you look at it, is gonna be damage control.
Yeah, and I'd also say that the majority of people on that video who had that very like kind of fake corporate feeling are the people who are not normally in their videos. They're not used to being in front of camera, in front of camera. They're not used to being in front of a camera. Cameras? I don't know.
Cameras?
Yeah.
Words.
But Linus was very much, himself, other than being extremely emotional, which he copped to being very emotional over the past, few days, which it's understandable.
Completely.
But I also feel like he should have known that his responses in the forum were not going to be taken well. And at that point, I think as an adult and as a business owner, I don't know if he's still considered the owner, but like as somebody who's been a big YouTuber for this long, should know when it's not the right time to respond to a comment. I mean, we're small and we haven't gotten any like serious bad comments on our stuff, but there have occasionally been people who either just said something really stupid, like the guy that told me to go jump off a bridge, or like you know, stuff about like Alex's PC, like saying, oh, this is, you know, this is stupid,
It's a
blah blah blah.
dead-end build LGA 1700s. Yeah, whatever, dude. I don't care. That's your opinion.
So it's like, yes, sometimes when I see those, like my initial thought is like, I gotta say something because like this is irritating me, and that's exactly the time I say I need to walk away from the computer and I need to remember that I'm still a real person, and that's YouTube and it's not about me. People are very, very comfortable with saying things anonymously on the internet, and sometimes you gotta step back and like not let your emotions take over you. So if I do end up responding to those kinds of comments, I usually wait until I can do it in like a, you know, funny kind of way, or just like, you know, whatever. So sometimes you also have to know when it's time for you to like step back and take a minute and not just respond because you feel the need to.
Yeah, and people do use the internet to hide behind the anonymity behind it. And I think Mike Tyson said it best, is people aren't used to getting punched in the face anymore.
Facts.
Because, like, I mean, I remember, like, growing up and everything, like, you know, the internet was a thing, but, you know, it wasn't massive and huge like it is now. Like, I think on my block, we were, like, one of the first people to get dial-up internet, and then, you know, it slowly grew from there. But, like, when you're outside playing with your friends and somebody pops off and says something stupid that pisses you off, you just pop them in the mouth. And then you're good. You don't get that anymore because everybody's hiding behind a computer screen. So people hide behind the anonymity and say whatever they want, which is stupid. Everybody should be always held accountable for, like, everything that you do has consequences, whether good or bad. But people, they just kind of just go off on the internet because they're like, nothing bad can happen to me.
Okay, so I want to hear from Ash. With everything you've heard, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like I've been sitting in this yoga pose for 5 minutes and my foot is asleep. That's how I'm currently feeling. But in regards to the whole, like, the topic, it's just hearing the facts and not really, like, I've never seen any Linus videos. I've never seen any of the other guys' videos. So it's I'm just hearing what the back and forth. I mean, I think Linus grew too quick for himself and kind of lost sight of what he like originally started doing, and then just fucked up and got called out for it. But like, yeah, I like a good apology video, but also like it needs to be done correctly, and making jokes and hinting to merch and like labeling the video like you're getting monetization from it, like that just, it's just bad ethics practices, and it's hard to take someone seriously when you're making jokes, but also like I said, I've never seen the guy's videos, so I don't know if that's like just his coping mechanism or if that's just his actual personality. But I mean, if you're getting called out on the kind of the space that made you famous, or yeah, it's just like, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more sincerity and seriousness. But I mean, I haven't actually seen the apology video, but
yeah, there's a time and a place for jokes, and like, while obviously most of their videos they are joking around, and like that might be their way, but it just felt weird. It felt wrong, I guess, in a way to me. And again, this is just my opinion, and other people might be like, no, that's exactly what I expected from them, and that's fine. But I think it's really funny that as somebody who really doesn't know the channel, like you said something about it's like they've grown, but like I can't remember exactly what you said, but it almost reminded me, yeah, like they grew too fast.
And they forgot their roots. And I think that's what like a lot of like really big creators that I've seen like across like TikTok, especially TikTok, TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, where you get these creators that get like 1, 2 like super viral videos, and then they end up with hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers who are awesome, but then they try to do more. And especially with tech, you gotta be so careful about like really giving like good reviews, because you gotta make sure, especially as a reputable, the list is coming up. Someone who has a reputation of providing information. Yes, thank you. I'm not even gonna try to say it. Reputable.
You know you'd be able to say it if you didn't wear socks to bed, right?
You know what? Leave my socks out of this.
Never.
For circulation, okay?
Do you know? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, Billy.
What?
I was just gonna say, Alex.
Shot Billy in the head twice in a row.
Do you?
That time was my fault.
Do you know the quote? Do you know the quote? That's the quote that Ash reminded me of. It was about them growing. They grew larger, but like didn't grow. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
You're no help.
Sorry.
I think it was Luke that said it.
They basically just like expanded and like I'm sorry, 25 videos a week is ridiculous.
Well,
Like,
so mind you, he does
This
have
is
a
a
company of 130 employees across a bunch of different channels. So yes, 25. Well, so it's not 25 long form videos. It's 25 videos together to include like shorts and TikToks and stuff.
No, I don't think you're correct on that.
Yeah, no, the shorts were definitely included in that.
I don't think so.
Do I have to do everything?
Okay, well, she's pulling this screen grab to see if I'm right or wrong. Oh, that was a friendly. Friendly fire won't be tolerated. Sweet, I'm just gonna die every time I accidentally shoot a friendly now.
But I mean, even just whether they put 25 videos out across all their accounts, including shorts and TikToks, or whether that is their 25 just long form style videos where you're doing like reviews, that's still you end up saturating the essentially the creative space where. I mean, yeah, you have a big company, but you look at other, like, big YouTubers, like, Mr. Beast puts out, like, a video a month. The Try Guys put out a video, like, I think once a week. And they all have huge teams behind them, too, but it's, like, they're creating anticipation for their content by not putting out so much into the creative space to where you're essentially you're saturating it. Like,
well, so
I mean,
part of the reason why they put up so many videos is that there's so much going on in the tech world that Linus wants to be the first to cover and release a video on. So like there's always new parts, new programs, new peripherals, you know, that are always coming out, so they always want to make sure they're the first to report on it.
Okay, I have the 20. It says 25 plus videos per week. So there's 6 Linus Tech Tips videos, which means that there's 1 day a week they don't put out a video on the Linus Tech Tips channel. There's one WAN show, which is their podcast, and that happens Fridays.
Which
On
did
the
not
Linus
happen today, by the way, which is very weird.
3 tech linked, 3 plus short circuit, 2 tech quickie, 4 YouTube shorts, 2 float plane exclusives, 3 plus LMG clips, and 1 MAC address.
Yeah, so there are a lot of long forms, but the shorts were included in that count too. But it also says 25 plus, which still, I mean, even for a channel as his size, is still a lot of content to produce and pop out every week.
Exactly. So it's like, where does like quality overstep quantity? I don't remember that word, percentages. It's like, where does the quality, like, the, yes, you're putting these videos, you're trying to be first, you want to be first. Like, I fully get wanting to be the first one out there with a review and a new piece of whatever gets released, but also it's like, from chatting with Billy about this yesterday, it's like, when does it become, like, is it an honest review? Is it just you're trying to get the content out so that when someone Googles or YouTube searches the name of that product, that your video pops up? But is it are you just kind of put out content so you can put a thumbnail out there, or is it an honest review with the research, the testing? Like, that's kind of what I want to know. And granted, yeah, you got a big team behind you. I get that, but like hearing about Alex doing a freaking test on his computer, how long did that take you? Like, it's like testing tech doesn't happen in a 5-minute period. Like, that takes hours and days to really like test tech, from what I understand.
Yeah. And then also something that I just kind of heard today, and I think this might have been in one of Steve's videos, is about the fact that LTT has basically automated their process for testing, like, and I'm thinking this is more on like the graphics card side, things like that. So like, it's testing like frame rates and stuff like that. So they've automated it, so there doesn't even have to be like a person sitting there running these tests, which means the only way they'll catch errors is if the person looking at the results can see an obvious discrepancy in the numbers, which if they didn't see the obvious ones of the 4090 being 300% better than the 3090, I don't think they would see even minuscule differences, which is important when it comes down to it. There are people who specifically buy their parts based on data-driven reviews, and they want to make sure they're getting the absolute best thing. Now me, I just go, ooh, it's pretty, and I buy it, so I don't really care, but other people do.
Yeah, so like, personally for me, I'll watch Steve's video reviews over all of the new hardware that comes out, because I know Steve's going to have all the technical data that I want to know. And then I go to you and be like, I know that one's pretty, but it's a waste of money. Pick a different pretty one.
So, as far as the one video that was like a 30% increase, Steve, I found this one YouTube video. It's not Steve's video, but it's quoting Steve somewhere else. And for that, I don't necessarily trust it entirely. But it shows one video that essentially Linus, with his sponsors, is consistently basically overstating how good the equipment is. And it's not like 5% like you'd see, or like some kind of, you know, I can't even think of the word, but like a plus or minus 5%. It's like consistently over the top. Like, hey, even the product itself that benchmarks it here and it's just disgustingly overstated how well the piece performs when it comes to his own sponsors.
Yeah, and that's one thing that he's been called out in the community on Reddit. I don't know if it's been in his own forums or not, because I really don't go through his forums very often, but I know it's been on Reddit and on Twitter, and people have been calling him out saying, oh, like, everybody knows that he has the Asus sponsor and a Noctua sponsor, and that's why he uses all of their products in his reviews and everything on like other stuff, you know, that's like brand independent. He uses the Asus and Noctua stuff, and he's always pushing their stuff. I mean, of course, because he's getting paid by them to push it, but there are some times where like some of the, I can't remember exactly which brand it was, but it was one of their motherboards was supposedly outperforming everything else in that class or whatever, and he didn't actually, like, it didn't actually outperform anything. It was just on par with everybody else, but he did it because they were a sponsor. So like, I get that, like, why he did it, because, you know, they're the sponsor, they're the ones that help pay the bills, because sponsorships pay better than ad revenue does from YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also why it is so important for content creators to disclose if their video is sponsored by somebody, because most of the time you are not going to get somebody to sponsor you if you say, I'm going to give an absolutely honest review. If I hate it, I'm going to say that I hate it. And, you know, if it's good, I'll say that it's good. Most sponsors don't want that. I don't know exactly how sponsorships work across the board, because we don't have any sponsors at this point. You know, we're kind of starting to work on just like affiliate basis, which is fully your own, like, you have to do the pushing of the products. But one of the things that I wanted to make sure we mentioned in this video is, like, a big thing for us is we made the decision before we even really started the YouTube that you know, if at any point we ever take a sponsorship, it will be a company that we already use, like already have a good knowledge base of, or if we haven't, we would have to use the product before we will have anybody sponsor us, because I would never want to push something that I'm not comfortable saying I, you know, enjoy this product. Like, it's really, and that's part of the reason why they're saying that this can be harmful, because not only are the consumers who are buying the products because of the review affected, but companies are affected by this too. Like, if me as the consumer decides to buy the 4090 because it does 300% better when my money could have gone to, you know, something else, then that company is affected as well. The companies lose it, or like, especially in the case of Billet, now they ended up getting probably way more way more press and, you know, what's the fucking word I'm looking for?
Publicity?
PR.
Yeah, way more publicity than they ever expected because of this. But is it for like the best reason? No, because we still don't know if the block is actually good. Like,
he tested it on the wrong card, said it was shit, but never bothered to test it on the right card.
That they sent them.
Yeah. But I will say, I think one of the best things to come out of this entire thing, along with most things that have ever happened, is all of the memes on Twitter.
Oh yeah, the memes are fucking great.
The memes are amazing. So I saw one where it was like, now on the LTT store, and it's like a shovel, and it's branded with the LTT logo, and it's like, so Linus can bury himself, or something like that.
Yeah, he keep digging his own grave.
Damn.
And then, like I said, they were putting everybody from the LTT video over top of that. Was it BP, or who had the big oil spill that South Park made the parody?
BP.
Yeah. So it was like they were putting all their faces over the people going, "We're sorry." I can't remember what other. I sent a couple to Alex because it was cracking me up that day.
I'm sorry,
I was
bro.
like, "Oh, here's another one."
It was either you or the Wilson.
We text too much. I'm never gonna be able to find these memes.
No. They're gone forever.
It was only a couple days ago.
A lot has happened in a couple days.
Especially when you're trying to keep up on this that's going on in the YouTube sphere. Yeah, a lot has happened. Like dozens of videos every day that I gotta, well, I don't have to, but I choose to sift through and try to like independently vet and see if who's posting it's like actually giving good information or if they're just trying to jump on a fucking popularity train.
Oh. Okay, so another thing.
O'Reilly's.
In the freaking like, I don't know if you want to call it apology video from LTT because it wasn't really an apology. It was just kind of like what we do from here. But in that video where they were talking about, hold on, I'm not gonna show my phone number on stream this time. In the video where they were talking about everything and all the mistakes they made, they forgot to blur the price of the mono block. So I had kind of referred to that earlier in my summary. They were supposed to blur the price because Billet didn't want people to know how much the prototype cost. And it wasn't even how much it cost, it was their like value of it or whatever. So they forgot.
Mind you, this is a solid copper monoblock. I just wanted to say that before you said the price. Boom.
What's the price?
Okay. Well,
I had to switch cams real quick. I'm sorry.
My phone number's not on there, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this was posted first, which was LTT leaked the price of the monoblock in their latest video. I literally can't. And you can see in that screenshot that it said it was 2,000 pounds. And then, so somebody responded to it with this. Since you guys are playing with the boys, I think it's pretty on brand.
It's the deep it's wrong
deep
doing.
thoughts with the deep. Would you like a Fresca?
You should drink a Fresca. But yeah, so it was a solid copper monoblock. So not only did the materials cost a good portion of money, but all the man hours that went into designing it, milling it out, and testing it, refining it, milling out the new one, testing it, refining it, so on and so forth. So, I mean, 2,000 pounds on a prototype. What is that in real money? I don't know Monopoly money conversions.
Are we talking British pounds?
Yeah.
I'm not loyal to the crown. I don't know.
I can do the
Oh,
math.
hey, Duck.
Hold on. Ducky!
Just joy.
Unky Ducky.
Let's see.
He's in the chat.
2,000 pounds. So 2,000 pounds is $2,546.80 right now.
Yeah, so 2,500 bucks.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's still that's a lot of money for a 2 or 3 man operation to shell out and then lose. You know.
Confirming next hard point. Stand by. Cell UAV in the area. Enemy counter UAV is active.
But
Target area updated. Move to the hard point.
yeah, so the whole billet situation, that really rubbed me the wrong way, because not only did they auction off the block, but there's Steve went in direct contact with Billet Labs, and Billet sent them screenshots of all of the emails prior to LTX. No one ever asked permission to auction it or sell it. They kept asking. They asked for it back 3 different times, never got it back. So the Billet situation really rubbed me the wrong way. I can forgive some errors in videos, because especially on that work schedule that they're pushing, you're gonna have some errors, right? The responses to those errors, though, in the videos, they're very lackluster. for what that channel is actually capable of.
Yeah, it's so there like this is also following. There was a kind of a smaller like outcry when there was this whole situation where their response to something was basically "trust me, bro," and now they joke about it all the time on their podcast, and they're just like, "Trust me, bro."
Yeah, the "trust me, bro" guarantee, that thing came about when his custom LTT store backpack, the zippers were breaking on him because they were low quality. So he started telling people, hey, trust me, bro, we're fixing it, we'll get it taken care of. And then that just kind of evolved into the trust me, bro warranty. So now that's just like one of those things they say all the time. Trust me, bro. I got this.
UAV active. Enemies deployed a counter UAV. Point relocating. Stand by.
At this point, though, it just really makes me feel like, are there any large creators who you won't at some point find out some kind of like shady thing about them, or just something that kind of like puts a bad taste in your mouth? Because there's another creator that we haven't talked about at all because he's not involved in this, but he kind of attacked a TikTok creator that I follow, and that made me very upset. And apparently he does it to many people, and so it left a really bad taste in my mouth for that guy. And I wasn't even a big fan of his in the first place, but I would watch his videos sometimes. So it's just like, when are we gonna have somebody like not be a dick?
Confirming next hard point. Stand by. Enemy
So I don't think what Steve did can be considered a dick move. That's on par for Steve. That's what his channel is known for. He's known for reporting factual information.
I was
and-
not talking about Steve.
No, I know, but you're just big creators in general, right? So I don't think realistically, like, because Steve does a good job of like when he's reporting on stuff to keeping his personal opinion out of it. So I don't think Steve will do a dick move like that, even though some people who are showing blind loyalty are calling Steve out saying he shouldn't have done this, he fucked up, blah 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 blah. I don't think so. Linus should have taken this as a chance to correct things that were wrong, fix things that were causing issues, and then he reacted emotionally, and that bit him in the ass, and then things just expounded from there. Another one that I see as probably will never be a dick is Jay's 2 cents. He's just an old man who loves water cooling shit and just doesn't care.
No, I think he's a dick. He got rid of his Z.
I think I actually just saw that guy's video randomly by happenstance.
Yeah, definitely should subscribe to him. His shit's awesome.
I think he was put in a crappy position though. So like literally right before stream, I watched a bit of his podcast, which is called
The RTFM Show. And if any of y'all don't know what RTFM stands for,
Read the fucking manual.
Oh.
I knew that from back in the day. That's an old thing.
Even me knowing nothing
Sounds like
about
he's
tech.
prior service.
no, he's not. His dad was Navy.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes sense.
No, but
that's
RTFM's
also-
been floating around the IT crowd.
I was
Not
gonna
the show,
say,
but it's been floating around the IT crowd for a long time.
that's just like that's been a thing like since like Elite Talk was a thing, like RTFM. Oh god, I'm aging myself again. What was I doing? I was gonna do something.
Yeah, so like I don't think Jay will ever be a dick like that, because like I said, he's just I'm not attacking Jay by saying this at all. These are all words out of his own mouth. He's just an old fat guy who's doing what he loves.
He's not fat. He's a prior fat guy.
That's why I said I was saying it at, his words.
So I want to know, who was he calling the Walmart greeter though?
No, himself. He's like the Walmart greeter. Steve's like your
Customer
service
service.
because he knows everything. That's what he was getting at.
So who is Linus? Is he the? Oh, I probably can't say that.
I think right now people want to see him as the fired Walmart employee.
Yeah, but again, I think we have to give people a chance to correct the actions, and also, again, I really don't want to touch on the topic because, and I think Jay did this the best, is like in proper society, I don't know how I want to say this, but like it's innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. So the allegations that were made, I feel like is pushing a lot more people to kind of attack Linus. Like if it had only been like the shady like bias in the videos and the bad reviews and stuff, I think people could have given him a chance to correct it. And I'm saying him a lot, and I understand it's a company and this is a company problem and they need to fix it as a company. So like I'm also not saying all of this is on Linus, but
I mean, he is literally the face of the company.
I have no idea what you just said, Ash. You were like,
he is the
like
face of the company.
I said he is literally the face of the company.
Yeah, I mean, it's Linus Tech Tips and Linus Media Group.
And that's the thing, is like, because that is how people see it, that's why I think he should have been one of the first people in the video about this, addressing it. Because as much as it is a company and it's a company's failures and it's a company's prerogative to correct this, people do still see it as this is Linus, like this is his deal and he needs to fix it and he needs to apologize. But like, was every mistake made by him? No. Can he control every single thing that happens? No, not when you get to 130 employees. That's almost as big as the company that I work for.
No, but I mean, ultimately, it is his responsibility, being that all of these mistakes that Steve called out did happen under his watch as CEO. So ultimately, it is his responsibility because he is owning the company. And this is, I can't remember which video it was, but he said that he proofs everything. So, but I mean, proofing everything, still starring in your own videos, I mean, that's a lot. So I can understand why mistakes happen.
I can't even get you to watch a 15-minute video before I put it up.
I watch every single one of our videos before you put them up.
If you guys want to know, hold on.
For the playthroughs.
Hold on. This is how Alex watches the videos. Can you see me?
Is he sitting on his phone?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Go ahead and put it up. I'm like, oh, did you see the GIF that I used at that one spot? No.
She's just upset because I can multitask.
You can't.
I can. I'll take that to my grave. I will die on that hill.
No, sir. Look at what this is doing. This is tearing our family apart. Thanks, Linus.
Everybody, she's kidding. This is not Linus's fault. It's not tearing our family apart.
Yeah, it's Alex's fault. Oh, okay, sorry. By the way, I'm ready to play Call of Duty, and I think Duck said he might join as well after he cleans some stuff up in the basement, which I think we know means.
Is he making somebody put lotion on their skin?
That's what I'm thinking. Puts the lotion on its feathers, or else it gets the hose. Wait, ducks like water though.
Yeah.
But I think unless anyone has any more thoughts that they want to share on the whole Linus thing, I think we could probably shift conversation.
All right, so everybody gets final thoughts as I run into a mine.
Yes, that's my final thought. Yes.
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 All right. So I was gonna go first, but I guess Billy got it. Uh, so my final thoughts on the situation is, as long as their apology video, regardless of how I actually feel about it, is true, and they take these steps in the right direction to correct everything that was called out, then I think it's a good thing. Like, sometimes people need to be knocked down a peg to realize what they're doing wrong. I mean, I've been in the army for 10 years. Military's notorious for knocking people down a peg when they fuck up. So I'm all about it. Could it have been handled a little bit better? Oh, absolutely. No one's going to handle any criticism perfectly, though. So it is what it is. And as far as all the other allegations and stuff, we ain't even going to talk about that. So what are your final thoughts?
Did you see what Duck said?
What do you say?
He said someone has to wash the walls down after activities.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to know my thoughts?
Yeah.
No, I if there's one thing everyone should know about me by now, it's that my head doesn't shut up, so I will probably always and forever have more and more thoughts about things, but with this one, I think it's important that we keep people honest in our, like, fields, I guess. Like, that makes it sound like, you know, I don't know, weird, but, like, I wouldn't ever go out of my way to call out somebody reporting about, like, the best yarn to buy for crocheting, because I don't know anything about, you know, yarn or crocheting. But so if it's something that you are knowledgeable about, like Steve, I think it is important to keep people honest when you have the knowledge to know that they're not being honest. But
Right.
I think that we need to be careful about the whole torches and pitchfork mentality. I think people should give people a chance to correct their actions before they take drastic actions. Like, I mean, at this point, I haven't seen anyone, like, burning their LTT screwdrivers or anything, but I feel like it's close enough. So, like, just for one, in the first place, you shouldn't put all of this faith and love and loyalty into a creator. But if you do really like them, when they make a mistake, like, give them a chance. I don't know, like, there's a lot worse shit that people have done on YouTube and get called out for.
I mean, if Logan Paul can go into a forest, I'm just gonna stop there. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Is he the one? Didn't he win that fight that he fought in or
I
whatever?
have no idea, to be honest with you.
I just saw a clip and it was like the girl who had to announce it was like almost crying when she had to say that it was whichever Paul brother was in the fight, and she had to announce that he won.
Do that again?
Yeah, well, both of them are winning stupid boxing contracts.
I'm reloading.
Well, but I think that's where I'll leave it with this.
Okay. Ash.
Closing arguments.
I definitely, like we said at the beginning, I'm not active in the tech space. I, with the exception of hanging out with y'all, computer tech's not really my thing, but it just from the conversation I got way too much going through my head right now that I do not have room for tech specs. But I think my overall impression is, especially from somebody who has an extensive PR, HR background, I think the way they responded was not the most ideal.
I think like I kind of said yesterday, they were going for to flood the content space, but didn't take the time to kind of remember the roots. So I'm definitely interested to see how this moves down the line, and kind of into the future of like, hey, do they actually follow through on the what they said in their where do we go for here video? I don't know. I guess I don't really have any strong opinions. Just interested to see what their content looks like next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Billy, would you like to expand upon your yes?
Yeah, I do. You know, one thing about
I do.
No, one thing, their schedule is crazy, and one thing with the employee interviews, it definitely seems like a very high pressure. You know, I can't speak whether it's truly toxic or not, but it seems very high pressure, and they got to do something about that. 25, regardless how many employees or platforms they have, 25 videos a week is a lot, and I understand you need to be ahead of everything, especially when it comes to tech, because it can change in an instant. But you're gonna make mistakes, especially when there's no time to edit or anything like that. And hopefully they change for the better, because LTT has been around forever. Like I said, I watched them back in the day, and it'd be nice to see it make a positive comeback. I feel like, you know, we've all kind of beat the dead horse here as far as how they handled it. It you know, seemed, you know, it was emotional. It made it seem disingenuous, and then coming through with a professional polish afterwards, kind of rubbed people the wrong way. But you guys are 100% right. You got to give people a chance. You just can't write someone off because, you know, they made mistakes or anything like that, you know?
So what you're saying
I feel
is-
like writing them off. Yep, sorry. I'll wrap it up. Sorry. I feel like writing them off is something that we do if they don't improve. All right. Time.
Oh, sorry, I was playing the get off the stage music.
So what you were saying though, Billy, to summarize everything you said, is they need to be like Dallas Cowboys fans.
Exactly.
Just give them a chance, man. They're gonna get it next year. I promise.
This is their year.
So hold on. I actually have a final thought to Billy's final thought, because I was trying to math this out in my head. And I've actually come to the conclusion that LTT needs to do more videos, because we're 2 people, and for the month of July, we put out 3 long-form videos a week, plus multiple TikToks. So if you math it out, with 130 employees, they should be getting out way more videos than they are. Like 100 a week, I think.
Well, wait a minute. You do have an employee. I'm your volunteer HR department.
Did you carry an extra 10 when you did that math, or was that just the straight math?
There were no calculators involved in this math.
As it should be.
I'm gonna go get some more water real quick.
That's how Einstein did it.
Okay, hold on. I know. So you gotta do, what is it? You gotta write like your lines on each side of the equals, and so we're 2 over, or no, sorry, we're so 3 videos a week times 4 weeks. Yeah, I give up.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's 12. Okay.
Well, I just dropped her real quick.
Okay.
So 12 long form plus we'll just say like oh wait, I'm doing per month. Hold on. So per week would be like 8 videos. So 8 over 2 people equals X over 100. And then you cross multiply.
Say X over 100 or X over 130?
Don't they have 100? I don't know how many employees they
130?
have.
Yeah, they have 130, I think is what it was. 120, 130. So it's 8 over 3? Or 2?
Yeah. No, 2.
Oh, so they should be pushing out 520 videos a week.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
damn.
think they're actually slacking.
So if you take our content, scale it up. But yeah, I mean, I hope they move for the better. They move into a better direction, better headspace.
Hi, Duck.
Is there a duck that just showed up?
Bro.
You missed all the fun conversation.
I mean, I heard part of it, but I wouldn't have been any help because I have no idea what the hell happened.
Why aren't you online
Yay,
yet,
I'm not
Duck?
the only one.
Because I'm downloading whatever 87 updates have happened in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, it was only 42. It wasn't quite 87. You're fine. So we'll play one without you.
Okay, I'm at 59% right now.
Aside from that, I did something this week that I promised myself I wouldn't do. And you know
Is it
those
safe to
like
announce on stream?
what?
Is it safe to announce on stream?
Yes, it is. This is stream safe. No, you know those like when you're at a Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and they have like
Did
the
you
random
ask for
crap in the
help?
aisles. What?
Did you ask?
No,
for
no,
help?
no. I would never. I would never.
Okay.
All right.
Whew.
I have principles. Okay. I betrayed myself. I would never betray men as a whole. But I got one of those cans that's like basically air in a can. I was just like, screw it, why not? Like, let's just see what it's all about, right? Because
Did you do whippets?
no, it's not a whip. It's stream safe. It's
It's like a fitness, like health improvement thing.
yeah, it's basically this can that you put over your face. It's got like a small mask attachment, and you just breathe in pure oxygen, or pure as in like 95% oxygen, and like people use it basically like in sports and whatnot now. And like I know like some gamers use it before like tournaments or stuff like that. But yeah, it was just kind of dumb. It was just breathing in air. If you ever gone scuba diving before or anything like that, you know what it's like. That's basically what it is. But I can see why some people love it.
Well, don't they say that like casinos, like the big ones in Vegas, will pump just pure oxygen in because it helps keep you awake longer and stuff?
Yep.
Has anybody used an inhaler?
Yes.
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 Like, I wish you could just buy inhalers. Like, I wish that didn't need to be prescribed because I've never breathed better than when I hit somebody's inhaler.
So that might mean you're asthmatic.
I'm not though. Except the other morning when I woke up and I could not stop coughing. Like,
You
I
almost
kind of,
fucking died.
yeah. It was one of those coughs where like it felt like it was just a tickle in my throat, but when I would go to clear it, it would just put me into like a coughing fit, and then I would feel like
Bronchispasms.
huh?
It's called a bronchial
She's not a
spasm.
dinosaur.
Oh, I gotta tell you guys the A lady joke that she told me last night.
Oh, please don't.
What do you call a ninja dinosaur?
What?
Sneakosaurus.
A Neversaurus.
I get it. Oh, damn, I just wasted a blueberry.
Yeah, they're not real people anyway.
Yeah, they don't count.
What was the other one when I came back in the room and I asked the bedroom one?
Oh, yeah. So a T-Rex walks into a bar. Bartender looks up and goes, "Dang it, Bill, are you messing with the time machine again?" That's it. That's the joke. It was
I still
terrible.
don't understand it.
It was terrible.
Also, it was Earl.
I laughed out of awkwardness.
Or whatever.
Well, that was part of the reason that like I wasn't understanding it was because I thought when she was saying "dang it, Earl," I thought she was saying like a word, like I don't know, it just didn't make any sense to me.
the joke still doesn't. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, Earl, Bill, whatever, was messing with the time machine, brought back a T-Rex. It's still stupid. The A-lady is not allowed to tell jokes in this house anymore.
I don't know. I kind of like them. Like that one day.
That was close. Reloading.
Go ahead.
Oh, so we have a guy at work who
Gross.
used to work at our warehouse, and now he's our unit deployment manager, or one of them. And every single morning he makes his rounds to say, like, good morning. But he has, like, his, like, cheesy joke, dad joke of the day. And some of them are good. Some of them you're just like, really, that's your joke today.
Does he get them from his A lady before he leaves the house?
If they're that bad.
I just saw a fox. Or a really big cat.
Hey, ADD, come on, focus.
Sorry.
Yep.
Girl.
I let one of the dogs out to pee, and I just saw it, like, run past the light post that's behind our house. Yeah, that was the end of my story.
Yeah. I wouldn't jive well with him if that's how he walked by and greeted everybody every day.
I think my favorite one this week was, what do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
What?
So, fish defeated.
Oh my god.
I think the other one was, what do you call a lazy kangaroo?
A kanga.
No, a pouch potato.
Oh my god.
Pretty terrible.
Oh, come on, they were glorious.
No.
I only like terrible jokes when I tell them.
Well, then I will send you a new terrible joke of the day every morning, Bunny.
Okay, and then I'll tell it to
You
Alex.
don't
That will
have
make
to.
me
Yeah,
happy.
no, you don't have to, because I knew that's what you were gonna do.
I love telling Alex terrible. Oh, okay. So what was that you heard that from? Alex told me about somebody, or from a show, or from a podcast, or something, where people have a bell in their house, and every time they tell a terrible joke, they have to ring the bell.
Oh yeah, no, that was from one of Linus's videos. That's in his studio. Every time Linus tells a dad joke, he has to go ring the bell.
Oh, so very appropriate timing for that. But so we said we need to get a bell or something for every time, because we both do it. We both make terrible jokes to each other. But I was like, okay, so bell would be fun, but also, like, do you remember the easy buttons from back in the day from Staples, where you would hit it and it would go, that was easy? Like, I almost want something like that, like a button. And it could do...
One of my coworkers had one that when you hit it, it would tell you, like, a motivational quote of the day.
No,
And you...
Absolutely not.
No.
don't want
No.
it.
No.
Nothing but depression and angst out of this household, thank you.
Sorry.
We don't want wholesome behavior around here.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Come on.
Fine.
Next time, do better, okay?
You're 2 for 2 today, Ash.
I'm just not good.
You get 3 strikes, you have to sleep without socks on.
No.
Are we picking up Duck?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Invite sent.
I would love to share the news of what I did this week, but I don't know if we're keeping it a secret until the video comes out.
Let's see. We have 5 live viewers right now. I'd say
Yeah.
go ahead.
One of
Some
them-
live viewers.
People watch our VODs.
Yeah, that's true. More than the closet fans.
Hey, it gives them something to look forward to.
Now, out of curiosity, just because I'm not familiar with streaming on YouTube, is there? And I don't think I've ever actually watched a live stream on YouTube. Is there like a chat window? Like, can you talk to your viewers?
Wow, you don't even watch our live? Ouch.
We know.
Bro, I'm watching it right
what I
now.
do.
Come on.
Wait,
Yes,
to throw
it's
yourself,
definitely-
put yourself under the bus, Billy. Good job.
No. There are several accounts that are diehard fans. Okay,
Just none that you actually
that I'm
watch.
responsible for.
They like constantly watch that your streams and all of your videos. Like it's going 24/7.
You know what that makes me want to do?
Get
Force.
Billy a second monitor so he can actually watch our lives.
Well, yeah, but
No,
I do have a small monitor.
force
That I use for
AI
work.
to watch our channel and then write us a YouTube script.
I don't think there's AIs yet that can watch videos.
No, well, there's
Not
not
for
AI,
free.
but there's programs out there where you can be like, hey, watch this and then write me a script, because people use it all the time. Like one of the best ones was he forced AI to watch all the Batman movies for 1,000 hours and then
Oh,
write
yeah.
a Batman script. And it was fucking great.
Like that one guy who reads them out on TikTok and they always crack me up.
So yeah, we just need to figure out how to do that. Force AI to watch our channel for 1,000 hours and then write us a video script.
But I mean, also, I'm okay with like, I feel like not every video needs to be like a complete surprise that's coming out. Like, I don't think it's that important. Like, it's okay if people know what's in the works, right?
Go ahead. Because I mean, we're waking up at the ass crack of dawn tomorrow.
Yeah. So we're waking up very early tomorrow, so that I can build my brand new computer that I bought all the parts for on Newegg.
Another one? Didn't you just build one like less than a year ago?
Yeah.
So the reason why we're upgrading right now is for a couple of reasons.
I'm impatient.
That's
Well, we knew
probably the
that.
biggest one. The second biggest one is that her computer really struggles to run Premiere Pro, which is the editing software that we use. So it was either we upgrade now, sooner than later, or we wait until it becomes an absolute problem and it's going to be almost too late to do anything about it. The third reason is Duck shot me in the fucking head.
Well, also because like I did first price out like, okay, well, what if I just update my graphics card, or what if I just update my CPU or something? But none of them made sense as far as like actually getting better performance out of my PC on their own, like for the price that it would cost. Because it's like, okay, well, my CPU like absolutely maxes out while I'm rendering a video, because you can't use only GPU to render a video. It's both. It's the CPU and the GPU. So if I upgrade my my CPU, I'm limited to what can go in my current motherboard. And if I update both my motherboard and my CPU, then I have to update my RAM, because right now I'm on DDR4 and it would only make sense to get a DDR5 board. And if I'm doing all that, then I'm still stuck on a 3060. Is that what I have?
Yes, you have
3060 Ti.
Yep.
So then my GPU would be lacking. So it just was one of those things where it was like, it didn't make sense to try to like budget this and only do a half upgrade, which like Alex said is absolutely needed, considering I am the person who's editing like 90% of what goes out on our channel. So it just came down to, if I'm going to be doing anything, I'm also going to go with like what I actually want as far as looks. So it's a all white PC build. in a case that also the other reason why I kind of jumped on it was because the case that I want has been in and out of stock, like regularly out of stock. And when I looked, like the day that I just went to just kind of go look and price things out, it was available. So I was like, I kind of just want to do this like right now.
So the actual third reason, not because Duck shot me in the head.
Oh, I was accepting that.
Yeah. No, is because with the AI, the advent of the AI boom, for graphics card, it's gonna be exactly like the crypto boom. People are buying graphics card for AI processing, and that's
Yeah.
friendly. I just shot it. So
Oh, which
graphics
also
cards have
reminds
started
me-
to come down in price finally. So
After
it's a-
2020.
yeah, so it's on par with purchasing everything now versus waiting a couple of months after the AI boom really starts to take off, because you can already see like some of the graphics cards are getting harder and harder to find. But it makes sense to do it now before that boom hits and we're not able to find the graphics cards that you want.
But you did remind me that I wanted to tell Billy that we did finally watch the episodes of Futurama that are out so far.
Yep. What do you think?
It's like the show never went off.
I don't completely agree.
Really?
I mean, it was good, don't get me wrong. But
Just know I'm taking whatever you say next personally.
yeah, I know. That's why I'm hesitating.
It's all good. It's all good.
It wasn't like, and you guys know how much of a fucking nerd I am when it comes to Futurama. Like, that was my shit back in the day. Like, that show has made me laugh more than probably most other things. That show made me bawl my fucking eyes out when even, like, Toy Story 3 did not make me cry. And, like, grown men cried to that movie. But
'Cause they're
Futurama,
bitches.
the episode with the bee where it like stung the hole right through Fry's body, like bawled my eyes out. But yeah, just if old Futurama is 100%, this feels like 85% to me.
Shit. I can see that though. Like,
I
I wouldn't say
only-
that's unfair. I really appreciate it.
My only complaint is the fact that they didn't drop the whole damn season. I can't binge a show if you only drop an episode a week. What is this, the early 2000s?
I was gonna say, do you know that when it first came out, it was like once a week, and we would have to wait for it, and then we'd have to wait in between the seasons?
Yeah, what is this, the early 2000s? Come on, it's on Hulu. They could just drop it all.
But I did appreciate the jokes about Hulu, because that's one of the things I've always loved about Futurama, is that they will make fun of whatever channel they're on. And also like the self-deprecating humor of like,
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know. I thought the Futurama Hulu-rama thing was hilarious.
is this hardcore?
Yes.
Yes.
That's a scary question at this point to ask.
Whoops.
Oh,
Normally play hardcore on
We like always play hardcore.
Yeah.
no, on this map.
It's hardcore shipment 24/7. Somebody's got to get their Tonfa's gold. It's me.
Hi,
somebody.
I'm the problem.
Oh no.
Me.
I don't know. I lived through that.
So now, because we finished, we rewatched all of Scrubs. We went through the 3 episodes of Futurama that were out. When did those come out, by the way? What day?
I think it's every Thursday or Friday, so there should be a new one out.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, so we might have one more to watch, but now Alex is having me watch Psych, which is like an older show. Oops, sorry.
It's Psych.
This
I've
is
never
hardcore.
actually watched it.
So Psych, it's a comedy crime show. The main character, Sean, is pretending to be a psychic because he was about to get arrested because he solved a crime, and so that made him the prime suspect. And he pretended to be psychic, and it worked. And now he works as the psychic consultant for a police department. And it's just goofy, funny shit.
Oh, so I don't want to like give away the information about what case I'm talking about, but did you guys say, like, I texted our little group chat today because I watched this true crime channel, and it's like I just put it on while I'm working and listen to horrendous things while putting spreadsheets together. But today I put one on, and like she's talking about what's going on, and I hear a place that sounds really familiar, and I'm like, that's the name of a place where I grew up. And then it turned out that it actually was. So I text my mom, and I'm like, did you hear about this? And she's like, yeah, my boss knows the person who found the girl's body. And I'm like, what the?
Ugh.
Finding a body's always fun. No, it's not.
Say finding them. I don't know.
Well, so also the really weird part of it is that they have found DNA from this crime, which matched DNA found in another crime that was across the country.
Well, they find that shit all the time now.
I always knew the invention of the railroad would be the downfall of this country.
I was just gonna say that. I've seen this Criminal Minds. I know what you're talking about.
Billy,
Yes.
the dogs destroyed Addie's flower necklace.
Okay.
She's gonna be so mad.
I mean, it's just a way. Like,
I know.
we'll get another one. That's all good.
Oh, I'm just
She'll be okay.
cleaning
She
up.
won't even notice.
That's probably true. But now I'm picking up fabric flowers from across the living room.
I'm thinking like one more game, maybe two, and then call it. 'Cause I want to get up early and start putting my computer together. So hopefully for tomorrow night's stream, I'll be on a new computer, and that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Just
What do we want to do tomorrow? Do we want to do more Overcooked or just Call of Duty again, or?
you know what that sounds like? It sounds like a problem for future us.
Yup.
I was gonna say, Overcooked is a ton of fun, but like, it's so hard to communicate about anything other than the game. But it is fun.
You just end up yelling at each other.
Yeah, like,
No,
I learned the
we did.
real. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think we did a really good job of not yelling at each other in that game.
We did. I think we
Oh
did.
yeah.
We're actually too polite in that game, I think.
Ash,
Oh
why
my
didn't you
gosh.
chop this lettuce? I'm so sorry, I forgot. It's okay.
And I learned about the green paper today, but I already forgot its real name.
I was
Nori?
gonna say that.
What?
Nori?
I was just about to say that. So like, we're at the H Mart today, which is like a big Korean grocery
Oh,
store.
I know what the H Mart is.
The H Mart is amazing. But Billy just like pointed. He's like, "Is that like the green stuff that's on sushi?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's that stuff called?" I'm like, "Nori." And he goes, "Yeah." So I was just calling it the green paper. And with
Wait, so when we were playing, every time I would say Nori, he would have no idea what I was talking about.
Yes.
He would just get lucky and grab the green shit.
So, what was funny is I was calling it green paper, and you guys knew what I was talking about. And then, like, I feel like we started calling it green paper, and I was just like, all right, this works.
No, that's definitely just a you thing, bro.
Just
Just
me?
you.
Well,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Pretty
Billy, we
sure I
still love
called it story every single time.
Location updated. Capture the hard point.
Well, I was doing phenomenal. Now I'm getting stomped out.
I was doing great before I realized it was hardcore and I was killing my friends.
Guys, my score is so high right now.
What do you
These
mean
idiots
I
aren't
don't
even
have
turning
100
around.
points?
Well, all of a sudden I saw a friendly fire will not be tolerated, and I'm like, huh,
The area.
You're doing
that's
great.
interesting.
That's new.
Yeah.
So Billy and I did start out in normal because I thought I clicked hardcore, but I didn't. And after every round, I was like, I need to change this to hardcore, and then I kept forgetting to.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job of letting me talk, not like yelling about the game, so proud of you.
Thanks. I
You
tried.
can have a cookie.
We don't have any fucking cookies.
These are Reese's.
You guys back on your diet again?
Are you playing?
Am I playing what?
No.
I'm
We're
just
back
being
on this
sarcastic.
new diet. It's called spend too much money on
Being
fucking
poor.
computer parts.
It's called ramen.
No. So I will
We got
never go on a
sandwich
ramen
Is that what
diet.
you're eating for the next month?
No, we got sandwich stuff from the store, and it's lasted a little bit. Like, that's what I've been eating for lunches.
I just
Oh.
haven't been eating lunches because I forget to bring them.
And then, so I don't know if you guys saw, but I came across a TikTok where Papa John's was talking about how they listen to what the customers want and they put the garlic sauce inside of their stuffed crust. So of course we had to get that, and that's lasted 2 days now. So we're doing good.
It'll be lunch tomorrow, so 2.5 days.
For real, I just want Papa John's now.
Dude, it's
Sorry.
good.
No.
Yeah, what? Wait,
All right,
hold
first
on.
off, why are you telling me now?
Because there's no Papa John's around here.
I mean, that's
I
a
will
valid
find
point. I mean,
We
if you don't
we
have
just
one near you-
drove. We just drove an hour and a half so you could go grocery shopping. All right.
Wait, you went up there specifically to go to the H Mart?
No, we went up there specifically to go to Mom's Organic so I could get my coffee.
That's a long drive for some coffee, dude. I'd have just ordered that shit on Amazon.
No, it's like this. It's organic. It's freshly roasted, and it's called Witch's Brew, and it's really freaking good. But I mean, I get like 3 pounds of it, so it lasts me like 2 months.
Wait, is Papa John's changing their name?
So
You're
what?
supposed to be playing Call of Duty right now.
I'm doing something for Billy. There's a Papa John's 12 minutes away from you guys.
Really? Where?
Yeah.
I feel like by proxy at this point, if someone really wanted to, they could find us at this point.
I was gonna say, I don't really want to like
Yeah, no, I
completely
respect
dox
that.
you on the stream.
Does that mean you can go back to playing Call of Duty now?
Yep. Yep.
No, but no, the garlic sauce in the stuffed crust is really fucking good. And some Papa John's, not all of them, are offering the spicy garlic sauce inside of the crust,
Pretty
which
cool.
is even better.
Wait, they make a spicy garlic sauce?
Yeah.
Dude, their spicy garlic sauce
What?
is awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew about that.
Only one that
It's pretty fire, actually.
By the way, it's near the mall, if that helps you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They also
don't
have a
talk about
Cool
Bruno.
Ranch Doritos sauce, which is
Ew.
really good too. So it's like ranch squared with
Like
Doritos.
I'm less excited about that. The spicy ranch sauce I need, or the spicy garlic sauce I need to know more about.
So it's their garlic sauce, but spicy, and it's delicious.
Secure the area.
Multiple movers here.
I just want to take a second to appreciate Hardcore. I took one shot with the USP here, or whatever Call of Duty calls it, and killed 2 people.
Oh, I
Were
mean,
they
it's,
teammates?
it's a 45 ACP. That's the Lord's caliber.
I want a man stopper.
At least you didn't stop after man. Just, I want a man.
You shot at Alex, so I was like, I'm not letting this go down. I'm sorry, bro.
He has to defend his man.
It's true. My whole man's.
Point compromised. Secure the area.
I only belong to one person.
I'm not your dad.
No, I know you're not my
Malachite.
dad because you wouldn't actually be there if you were.
I just lost
Just
Blueberry.
went
I
to
feel
get
bad.
milk and cigarettes. It's okay. I'll be back.
The milk was in the very back of the
sorry.
fridge. That's why he's not back yet.
Yeah. Well, like, have you seen those videos where people in like either grocery stores or convenience stores or something, they hide in the back behind the fridge, like where they stock it from, with a water gun?
Yes.
And so when somebody opens the door to get like milk or whatever, they squirt them with the water gun.
Yeah.
So basically the story is I went to get milk. I opened up the refrigerator to grab the milk out. Somebody squirted me with a water gun. I got so scared I had a heart attack, and then I forgot who I was, and I haven't been able to find my way home. Is that believable?
No.
Yeah.
I don't
See,
believe
like,
it.
people are
Not for a
getting
second.
creative. When I worked at the gas station and I would go hide it in the freezer, it would be to go partake in illegal substances.
Which is
Ooh,
brutal.
you want to hear what I used to do? So I worked at a grocery store in the deli area, so I would like cut up the lunch meat, but we also had like, you know, most delis in a store have like the potato salad, the pasta salad, the stuff pre-made for you to like buy for your picnic or whatever. Well, we had chicken salad that we sold, and because our store also did rotisserie chickens, the chicken salad was made from rotisserie chickens, and it was really freaking good chicken salad. So I used to take the little tester spoons, and I'd grab a big old hunk of chicken salad I'd go hide in the freezer or the walk-in fridge or whatever, and I'd take hunks out of the chicken salad, and I would just eat it in there. I wouldn't reuse the spoon though, that's disgusting.
The only time I've ever hidden in a freezer was when I was pregnant. I was working in the dining facility, and it was so freaking hot, and it was super hot Texas summer. And here I am, like freaking 8-9 months pregnant, and I'm like dying, sweating to death in my office. So I straight
Gross
up
to
like,
your wife being pregnant.
how big? So I like grabbed my laptop and like grabbed an empty like milk carton, like milk crate, flipped it over, and started just working in the freezer. And then I'm just hanging there, and one of my airmen just walks in and was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm sweating to death, and this is the only place I feel comfortable." And he just goes, "Sounds good." And I just hear him as he walks out going, "I found LT, she's cooling off." And I was like, "Oh God."
That would have been the perfect opportunity to screw with him and be like, "Oh my God, it's coming!" Like,
Well, here I am, like sitting there with my computer, like freaking answering emails, and I'm like, I'm dying, and it's so fucking hot.
I feel like that is exactly why men don't have babies. They can't handle this responsibility. They would make jokes all the time.
Yeah.
We would do no such thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
You absolutely would.
Yeah.
Men can't handle being pregnant.
And just chatting. You said you were going to call it after. that last game?
I'm not in charge of this stream.
No, so I'm just agreeing with you. Flipped it over to just chatting. Closing remarks.
Okay. Everybody else go first.
Duck, you go first.
Closing remarks on what? Being pregnant in the freezer?
It took too long.
How do you feel about pregnant women in a freezer?
Oh, Duck jumped in. Hold on, I got to turn his live icon on. Boom. There we go.
Notice me,
Ah.
senpai. Notice me.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, keep your notifications on, and y'all will be notified when the brand new PC build comes up.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yes. And probably sooner than that when we go live tomorrow and when the next few planned videos come out, you know.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but I figured I'd plug your PC because you brought it up earlier.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, love
so
you, bye.
yeah, Kay, love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Oh shit, I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, one more time. Kay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you,
Love you,
bye.
bye.
I love you, bye.